now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Just days after the U.S. broke the record for mass killings in the country, America gets rocked by yet another mass shooting. We're following all the developments in this latest shooting rampage at UNLV. And the mother of an Edna teen says she suspects foul play in her daughter's death. Authorities have now launched a capital murder investigation into the case. We'll tell you what we're learning so far. Turning now to Capitol Hill, after a rocky ride in the House this year, ousted House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he plans to resign from Congress. We have the details on his departure. That's coming up on Sunrise.
And if you're loving this warm weather, it's going to stick around just a little bit longer until we get a cold front this weekend. We'll take a look at that in the weather coming up.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 7th day of December 2023. The time is now 6:30 on our Thursday morning, and it is Illinois Day.
Ooh, it's a cool day. Have you ever been to Illinois?
Oh yeah, I've probably been at least 10 times because I went to school in Missouri, so going to Chicago was always a fun trip to make.
Oh yeah, I bet it sounds like fun.
And now I try to go at least every other summer for a music festival there.
Oh, music festival, that's why you go.
Lots of good music and food in Chicago.
That's pretty fun. That's sweet. Cool, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Well, Parker, how's it looking out there today?
Well, we're starting out a little bit cool this morning, Carolina. Starting out in the 40s right now. Looking at a live look at Eastern Victoria. You actually see the loop right there, kind of right next to the airport. But like I said, a little cool starting out the day. Starting out at 47 this morning with a dew point at 45, just 2 degrees off from the temperature. You got a 93% humidity, so it's a little humid out there, but nothing crazy. We're not really start seeing fog develop at about 95% and higher. But if you take a look at the rest of the area, you can see a couple of areas here above 95%, like Arvujio is 100%, 95 Beeville, 95 Karnes City, 97 Nixon. Anywhere you see 95 and up, please be careful if you see any fog, patchy fog out there on the roads this morning. And like I said, beautiful weather is going to continue going into this week. We're going to have highs probably in the low 70s, maybe if we get lucky, maybe 74, 75 today. We're going to be dropping back to the 60s tonight because we're going to get that southerly flow returning off the Gulf starting today, warming us up out of the 40s, no longer in the 40s for those overnight lows. But tomorrow it's going to warm up quite a bit into the upper 70s tomorrow. It's going to be a nice warm day tomorrow. It's going to be even warmer on Saturday. We take a look at here why we're seeing all this warm weather, because it's December, right? Aren't we supposed to be seeing cool weather? It's nice and warm outside. Well, if you're like me, I love this warm weather. I'm not complaining at all. We got this high pressure currently out in the Gulf right now, giving us all that southerly flow. That's going to stick around just a few days until we get a cold front coming off a low that's going to traverse right over the Rocky Mountains and create that front along that trough axis. It's going to be in our area probably Saturday late afternoon, maybe Saturday evening, bringing us to some little bit cooler temperatures next week. And we'll take a look at the timing of that front, the cool temperatures coming next week, and maybe those rain chances and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Multiple people died in yet another mass shooting, this time at UNLV in Nevada. A gunman opened fire in the university's Lee Business School building, and additional shots were later reported in the student union. The suspect, a man in his 60s, was located by police and is dead. At least 3 people died in the shooting, with one other victim currently in the hospital and in a stable condition. There were also additional individuals transported to the hospital who were suffering from panic attacks. President Joe Biden has since released a statement condemning the gun violence, and he has called on Congress to pass stricter gun laws. The Texas Rangers, DPS, and Edna and Victoria Police Departments are investigating the death of an Edna teenager. 16-year-old Lisbeth Medina's death is now being investigated as a capital murder case. Her mother, Jacqueline, believes it could have possibly been a break-in because a few weeks prior their home had been broken into, and from how she found Lisbeth, Jacqueline believes someone had hurt her daughter.
There was no lace drugs. There was nothing like that. My daughter was found in a way that no mother should ever find their child. Someone hurt my child. Someone took my child from me.
Jacqueline is asking the public to not spread misinformation about this case so that the investigation can lead to an arrest. There's no confirmed arrest at this time. Jacqueline added that unless it comes from authorities or directly from her, do not believe it or spread rumors. And if you have any information, call the Edna Police Department at 361-782-6522. A truck failed to yield the right-of-way and crashed into a motorcycle Tuesday night, killing 19-year-old Bo Meyer, the driver of the motorcycle. The vehicles collided on Port Lavaca Drive at around 6 p.m. Police say the truck heading north in the 100 block of North Bronson Street hit Meyer as he traveled east on Port Lavaca Drive. First responders transported Meyer to a local hospital where he later died. The driver of the truck made it out of the crash okay. A crash caused traffic to detour in the peak hours of the morning yesterday. 25 News Now had coverage at the scene and observed what appeared to be two vehicles that had collided just before 9 a.m. on North Navarro. Traffic detoured briefly at Mistletoe and Navarro to the Crestwood intersection, and both vehicles had to get towed away. We have not received word on any injuries. Ousted former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy planning to leave Congress. The California Republican voted out of his seat as Speaker of the House in early October, says he will resign at the end of the month, explaining in a video on X that now is the time to pursue his new passions. McCarthy's exit further cuts the already narrowing GOP majority in the House following the expulsion of Representative George Santos. His departure is expected to cause a special election in California. It's her. Yes, it is Taylor Swift. She is the person of the year, according to Time magazine. And from her record-breaking Eras tour to the re-release of two of her albums, Speak Now in 1989, which included over 10 previously unreleased songs. In November, Swift broke Grammy records with her song Anti-Hero by becoming the first artist to earn 7 total nominations for Song of the Year. The pop star's Eras Tour concert film also became the highest-grossing concert film of all time in the U.S. and Canada within days of its premiere. Swift beat out a wide-ranging pool of finalists for the Time magazine title, including Barbie and King Charles III. And here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. The Calhoun County Commissioner's Court named EMS Director Dustin Jenkins as the general contractor for construction of a new first responder training facility. Plus, the Harbor Children's Alliance and Victim Center collected presents and donations for a Christmas party toy giveaway for children. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. And remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:37 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. We get to know more candidates running for office in the new year.
It was the 4th Republican presidential primary debate last night, and there was one person noticeably absent. I'm ABC's Liz Landers in Washington with what the other candidates said about former President Trump.
And coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your school bus forecast. We'll take a look at that allergy report, and later on Sunrise, we'll take a look at your fishing forecast as well. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If y'all waking up with us this morning, if you're just tuning in, look at a live look at Quail where that sun's starting to come up, making a nice, pretty blue, purple sky out there. But a little cool to start out the morning. 49 is that morning temperature. Start out the day in the Cuero area. I put Gonzales, that's the closest town to Cuero. That is at Victoria. But with the dew point just 1 degree off, you got a 97% humidity out there. So a little humid. That's where you might start seeing some fog out there in the Cuero area. So please be careful if you're on the roads this morning. You don't want to get in any wrecks. Well, if you're sending your kiddos off to school, it's going to be about 46 as they're heading out the door. Cool and mostly sunny. You might want to just pack them a light jacket, though, because it's going to warm up to 74 today. It could be a nice, fair, warm day today with partly cloudy skies this afternoon. And with that nice weather, we're going to have a little bit of pollen out there. Nothing crazy, though. Just some low pollen in the grass and ragweed. But the trees, that is non-existent. So that's actually coming from that southerly flow. That's going to return today. And in fact, with that southerly flow returning, you can see it here southerly, south there, southwest, warming right back up to 80 possibly on Saturday. It's a warm day in the middle of December in that Carolina. But we're going to be dropping back to the 60s next week after that cold front arrives. And we'll take a look at that and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
It's very warm. Yes, Parker. Could even go swimming, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
And the 4th Republican presidential primary debate took place last night in Alabama. The stage was much smaller this time. The candidates covered a range of issues, but also took personal jabs at each other.
Only 4 candidates joined the stage for the 4th Republican presidential primary debate, but there were plenty of fireworks and insults to go around.
I love all the attention, fellas. Thank you for that.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley has seen a recent surge in the polls and took much of the criticism on stage Wednesday night. Businessman Vivek Ramaswamy using his first question to attack her.
You actually started joining service on the board of Boeing, and now you're a multimillionaire. That math does not add up. It adds up to the fact that you are corrupt.
In terms of these donors that are supporting me, they're just jealous. They wish that they were supporting them.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who has seen a drop in the polls, also swiping at Haley.
She wrote a love letter to the Chinese ambassador saying how great a friend China is. You can look
Former Governor Chris Christie defending Haley.
We disagree about who should be president of the United States. What we don't disagree on is this is a smart, accomplished woman. You should stop insulting.
Candidates spent some time debating issues like the border, student loans, and digital currency regulations. Former President Donald Trump was absent from the stage, having now skipped all 4 debates. On Tuesday, he declined to rule out abusing power if he returns to the White House.
Under no circumstances, you are promising America tonight, you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one. I want to close the border, and I want to drill.
That's
drill,
not. That's not.
No, no.
That's not.
We love this guy. He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no. Other than day one."
Christie taking on Trump directly, saying he doesn't think Trump is kidding about his future plans as president.
Let me make it clear. His conduct is unacceptable.
The Biden campaign responding to those comments from Trump, saying that it's, quote, no surprise when you look at everything that he's been saying every single day on the campaign trail. In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, did you watch the GOP debate last night? Okay, let's take a look. Less than the last half hour, just 9% of you say yes, and 91% of you say no, you did not make it or you did not watch it. We want to keep hearing from y'all. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. This candidate for Mayor of Victoria, who's originally from the city, holds a seat on City Council and serves as president of the Golden E Corporation. We're talking about Josephine Solis. Solis serves as a member of the Victoria Metropolitan Planning Committee, and she's on the Victoria Economic Development Corporation board. That's a lot of board meetings. And she's held a seat on the City Council since 2012 and says her extensive work with the city has given her insight into how to help Victoria grow and help our citizens, like making public transportation more accessible.
Growth spurt downtown right now, and I would like that to spread out further out. I know we need to do some work in Southside. We need like a washateria store, anything down there that can help those people. Maybe even get some more transportation down there. And right now I'm a member of the Golden Crescent Regional Planning Commission, and those are the people that do the transportation. So looking at, there's a study going on right now, and we can see where we need to have more stops, and that way we can get more people to work, to the store, to the grocery store, and the washaterias, things like that.
It has called for a special mayoral election for February 3rd, 2024. And here's a look at some of the other candidates running for mayor. Dwayne Crocker, Carissa Winters, Peter Brown, Robert Constantine, and Jacob Salceda. We'll be featuring each candidate as we get closer to the election, and you can watch a full interview with Josephine Solis and Don Brubaker on our YouTube channel. The interim chief of the Victoria Fire Department has filed to run for the Victoria County Commissioner seat in Precinct 3. Shannon Martin started with the Victoria Fire Department in 1987. Martin retires at the end of January, and he says he has lived in Precinct 3 his entire life, and he wants to help residents solve any issues in that area. Incumbent Gary Burns has decided not to seek re-election. The primary election is March 5th. It's going to be a busy election season. And here's a look at some of the top headlines you'll find in the Record. DPS Trooper Ruben Garcia of Yorktown received a service award from Governor Abbott. And the South Texas Regional Job Fair will be on January 11th at the Cuero Municipal Clubhouse. And Hunt Elementary students collect over 500 cans of food for the Kamal House. Way to go. Read these stories and more at CoreRecord.com. And the time is now just about 6:46 on our Thursday morning. Still to come, Find out why more children are winding up in the hospital for eating disorders. Happy birthday to Richard. Happy birthday, baby. Have a great day. Love, Luna, Tom, Bunny, and Michelle.
And Grammy-winning singer Sarah Bareilles is with the birthday today. She's 44. Happy birthday, Sarah. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com, click on More, and under Home you see KAVU to submit your birthday.
The time is now 6:46 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
Yes, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. We've been having some beautiful weather these last few days. In fact, yesterday's high got to 70 degrees. We're going to stay in the 70s for the next few days. We'll take a look at your future temperatures here for today. Starting out pretty much in the upper 40s, maybe mid 40s for some of us, but warming up into the low 70s this afternoon. Maybe if we get lucky, 74 or 75 is that afternoon high today or this afternoon. But we're going to be dropping back to the 60s tonight. We're finally out of the 40s for the overnight lows because we got that southerly flow warming us up quite a bit starting today. But tomorrow we're going to warm up even more into the upper 70s tomorrow. It's going to be a warm day in the middle of December. It's supposed to be cool in it, but we'll take a look at why it's going to be so warm in just a second, because we've got a few, it's going to be, with it being so nice, it's probably a good day to go fishing. We've got a few tides today. There's your high tides. We've got a low tide. We actually just had one of them about an hour ago, but those winds 10 knots out of the south-southeast make your bays and seas slightly choppy at about 2 to 3 feet with a water temperature of 64 degrees. And with that water temperature still a little warmer there as that southerly flow returns, we're going to be warming up our dew points and our temperatures quite a bit going into the weekend and come up a little bit. We'll take a look at that and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. More children are winding up in the hospital for eating disorders. JAMA Network Open published a new study Wednesday that looked at more than 11,000 pediatric eating disorder hospitalizations in Ontario. Researchers found between 2002 and 2020, hospitalizations for such conditions jumped 139%, but hospitalizations were sharply pronounced for young males, a spike of 416%. Patients in the 12 to 14 age range had an increase of nearly 200% in hospitalizations. The study's lead author says the increase is due to a number of factors. Those include a decrease in the stigma for eating disorders as well as improved screening. Researchers say the study focused on a wide range of eating disorders beyond anorexia and bulimia nervosa. McDonald's is testing out a new cafe concept aimed to rival Starbucks. The chain hopes the new concept will help it grow in the specialty coffee business. McDonald's CEO shed more light on the long-awaited CosMc's Cafe idea during an investor event Wednesday. Like Starbucks, CosMc's will focus on cold, sweet beverages that can be modified to taste. While McDonald's already has its McCafe menu at its existing locations, the chain CEO said it can't just add a bunch of new drinks to its regular menus. That's because it would complicate kitchen operations and slow down service. So instead, it's testing out this new concept to see if people will swing by CosMc's during their afternoon slumps to buy customizable beverages. McDonald's CEO told investors that CosMc's is just a test. So far, there's just one location opening up in Bolingbrook, Illinois later this week. McDonald's plans to open 9 more locations, all in the Lone Star State, through the first half of next year. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A suspect is in custody after 2 people died following a crash in Massachusetts. A suspect is in custody after 2 people died following a crash in Waltham, Massachusetts on Wednesday. Authorities say a police officer and a National Grid utility worker were killed in the crash at a construction detail on a busy road. Authorities say 54-year-old Peter Simon was driving the pickup truck that struck the police officer and utility worker. Several other workers were also hurt during the incident. After crashing his vehicle, the suspect stole a police cruiser and fled the area before later being taken into custody. Authorities have given a briefing on the evening's tragic events. One person is dead following a crash involving an Amazon delivery truck on Wednesday in Ohio. The authorities say the chase began Wednesday evening in Cleveland Heights, where they were after a stolen Amazon van. The pursuit made its way into Cleveland before the van crashed into another vehicle on Interstate 90. A 30-year-old man was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the Amazon truck attempting to flee following the crash, but was eventually arrested. An investigation is underway. Police are searching for several suspects after a FedEx truck was robbed last week in California. The robbery was caught on camera in the San Miguel Ranch neighborhood in San Diego. In the video, a blue sedan is seen pulling up alongside a parked FedEx truck. They point what appears to be a weapon at the delivery driver and grab packages from inside the truck. The suspects were all wearing gray hoodies and masks, and it took them less than a minute to grab the merchandise and drive away. At one point, a neighbor is seen emerging from her home, warning the suspects that she has them on camera. The FedEx driver was not hurt during the incident. More progress in the building of the Salvation Army of Victoria's Life Enrichment Center. The center will open the first week of January. Construction started September 1st at the Salvation Army's home office, and it's about 2,000 square feet. It'll feature a classroom, a library, a study area, a medical room, and a computer station and laundry facility. Cassidy and Haley Hayes of Calhoun County were named the winners of the Texas Farm Bureau's Outstanding Young Farmer and Rancher Award at the organization's meeting in Frisco. The couple grows corn, cotton, and soybeans in Calhoun and Victoria counties. They also sell about 850 show pigs each year to youth exhibitors from California to Georgia. The Hayes will receive a $60,000 award. And in new court filings, Texas claims the lawsuits challenging the November election were improperly served and therefore invalid. The lawsuits are based on false claims that the state's voting equipment is not certified. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Now we turn to Parker for a final look at our forecast.
Thanks, Carolina. Good morning, folks. If y'all just wake up this morning, going to be a nice warm day today. We get a live look at East Victoria where that sun is finally coming up. Look at that beautiful sky as that sun rises. 50 is that morning temperature starting out the day here in the Crossroads with a dew point 47, just a few degrees off, a little humid out there at 89%. But as you look at the rest of our area, a couple of areas above 90, anywhere you see 95% or higher, you might start seeing some patchy fog out there. So please be careful if you see any fog on the roads this morning. But like I said, going to be nice over the next few days until we get a cold front coming over the weekend. Got a high pressure in the Gulf, giving us that southerly flow, warming us up nicely over the next few days. But coming Saturday, we've got this new low that's going to develop right over the Panhandle, bringing us that cold front by Saturday afternoon, probably late Saturday evening is the time on that. But over the next few days, like I said, we're going to be rising right back to the upper 70s this week, and possibly even 80 on Saturday ahead of that cold front, Carolina.
Maybe a good weekend to clean some of those hats.
Oh yeah, it's great weekend to do that.
Don't want to wear a hat when it's windy.
Oh.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Thursday. And remember, follow us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join us tonight for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.